Chapter 4, Tending Fires. Water level boiler to be checked. Boilers not steaming freely. Ash pan to be cleaned. Use of the damper to blower. Blowers to blowing off. Cabs to be kept clean. Operating of the injectors. Banking of the fires. Moving of the engine after lighting up. Moving dead steam at locomotives. Alright, water level in the boilers to be checked. Members attending the fire on the boilers and the steam will safeguard at the boiler, satisfying themselves that there is not less than a half a glass of water registering in both gauges glasses of the boilers. On taking charge at the most breadth of water gauge columns at each of the boilers, assure themselves that the columns are registered clearly and open of the test cocks are good to blow through the steam in the water passage should occur on one. On closing the test cock, the water should arise smartly into the glasses, and both columns must register the correct water levels. It is found that the water rises smartly in one glass and slowly, not at all in the other. It indicates that the water passages to the latter is made up or the water cock partially or wholly closed. If it is found that the water returns smartly to one glass and in the other glass, it rises out of the sight and indicates that the steam passage to the latter is blocked, and the steam cock is partially or wholly closed. The glass would then be registering fault level, and this fact must be immediately be drawn to the attention of locomotive or rolling stock maintenance supervisor. If there is essential to note that at all times the water steam patches are clear that the full open position on all the boilers. If there is any doubt to the accuracy of the water levels in the glass gauges columns, an independent test should be made of each of the passages. To test the steam passages, clean both steam and the water clocks, open the test cock, then open the steam passage. A good blow of dry steam should come from the open test cock. If not, passages must be cleared. To test the water patch to see if the steam cock is closed, then see that the steam cock is closed, then open the test cock and the water cock. If not, the passages must be cleared or removing the front plug and the ball check valve and proving the passage with a wire rod. Do not stand in front of the column while clearing the passage. When testing passages to gauge glass, if the test cock cannot be closed, then close the steam and water cocks and test the cock that can safely be given attention. No account hit the test cock with a hammer or a spanner. If everything is not in order or the boiler is likely to be slowly in raising steam, the person in charge should be notified. 4.2. Boiler not steaming freely. If the boiler does not make a steam responsibly freely, it can be many instances be attributed to bad fire, closed dampers, block screens in the smoke box. The screen should be bumped with a jigger bar through the cap on the side of the smoke box, only sufficient to dislodge cinders. 4.3. Ash pans to be cleaned. Ash and cinders should be cleaned from the ash pans before locomotives leave the box flat depot. Ashes is not to be dropped on the box flat to Swan Bank section. 4.4. Using dampers and blowers to avoid boilers making steam to freely close the dampers. The use of the blowers should be avoided as much as possible unless the bright fire is maintained. 4.5. Boilers blowing off. Boilers should not be allowed to blow off at safety valves in the shed or at any time. 4.6. Cabs to be kept clean. Water gauge glasses and their protectors in the boiler front must be kept clean. Cools must be picked up on the footboards and put on the tender. Operation of injectors. Many members attending boilers should at all times before operating injectors make certain that no person under or near the injector overflow pipe where they may be scalded by steam or hot water. 4.8. Banking of fires. If the locomotive is retained in steam for a period of time between the use of the fire, may be banked on at the tube plate end of the firebox using a brick arch. 4.9. Moving the engine after lighting up. An engine must not be moved until all the water has been displaced from the cylinders. To do this, check is made and ensure the cylinder drain cocks are open and the water is not excessively high in the boiler. While the brake hard on the reverse lever in the mid position, the brake regulator is open for a few seconds. The regulator is then closed, and the reversing lever is moved to the full forward position, full reverse position. This will force all the water in each of the end of the cylinder to drain through the cylinder cocks. The above procedure should be repeated if necessary, and the locomotive should be moved slowly to allow any remaining water to be discharged. 4.10. Moving a dead steam locomotive. Moving dead steam locomotives should be avoided as much as possible before a dead locomotive is moved. The cylinder drain cock must be opened and lubrication of the cylinders to be provided when possible. The dead locomotive is to be moved slowly to allow time of any of the water in the cylinders to be discharged. Chapter 5, Fireman Duties.